From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. We still have a high wind warning and a wind advisory in place. In fact, some of the wind advisory just got trimmed back a little bit, but for all of these locations, it runs until 7 this morning. Now, I must say that the winds are not nearly as strong as they were just yesterday, specifically yesterday evening, but they're still gusting between 20 to 25 miles per hour, with some of the strongest wind gusts right now being in the valleys. And we also have winter weather advisories in place for the Cascades above 4,000 feet. This runs until 10 this morning. Then for the Blue Mountains above 4,500 feet, that runs until 4 p.m. Also, we're really on the downswing when it comes to the rain and snow that's on the map. But you can see two distinct areas, one in the Cascades and one in the Blue Mountains. Snow levels today mostly between 2,500 to 3,000 feet. Temperatures this morning in the 40s for the most part, so definitely not the coldest air temperatures we've seen, but when you factor in some of the wind gusts, it will feel chilly out there. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. A few showers left over for today, mostly in the morning. Pretty dry and cool from Wednesday through Friday. Then we have more wet weather for this weekend. I'll tell you what we're expecting for that storm system coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, it is Election Day. We look at the steps you need to take if you still haven't voted. Plus, we have how you can check to see the status of your vote. And a follow-up on the painting of the Blue Bridge, officials telling us it's almost done. We have the details. Plus, still ahead, Boeing union workers voted on the new contract deal yesterday. We have if they agreed or if they'll continue to strike. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Tuesday, November 5th. All right, the day we've been talking about, it's finally here. It's Election Day. And although the thought can be overwhelming for voters, we are here to help. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma is diving into the times, the dates, and steps you need to know if you still haven't casted your vote or if you want to make sure that your vote is counted.
If you still haven't registered to vote or cast your vote, your time is starting to dwindle. Benton County Auditor Brenda Chilton says you have until 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th, to drop off your ballot at a drop box. But before you let your ballot slip through your fingers, there's one important detail to pay attention to.
What we're emphasizing a lot this election season is the importance of your signature. So when you filled out your ballot and you put it into a security sleeve and then you put that security sleeve inside the outer envelope, there is a place on the outer envelope for you to sign your name. You're subscribing to an oath, and then we compare your signature against the signature that we have on your voter registration record.
But that's not the only thing voters should know when it comes to their ballot.
What we're emphasizing a lot this election season is the importance of your signature. So when you filled out your ballot and you put it into a security sleeve and then you put that security sleeve inside the outer envelope, there is a place on the outer envelope for you to sign your name. You're subscribing to an oath, and then we compare your signature against the signature that we have on your voter registration record.
If you are mailing your ballot, Chilton says it must be postmarked no later than November 5th. However, she recommends voters use a drop box at this point. But if you must mail it, voters should make sure the last pickup time has not passed on the blue USPS box. But if you're worried you might have done something wrong, Chilton says they will contact you if you did.
We're going to notify you. We're going to send you a letter. We're going to call you. We're going to text you. However, whatever information that we have available to us, we're going to attempt to contact you and explain to you how you can cure that problem.
Chilton also says if you provide a contact number, voters can also be notified that their signature has been verified and their vote has been counted. Reporting in Kennewick, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. And Washington State has officially reached the 5 million registered voter milestone. The Office of the Secretary of State says more than 10,000 voters registered last Monday, and that was the deadline for registering or updating voter registration online and via mail. It set a state record for online voter registrations in a single day. Eligible voters can still register to vote or update registration in person at voting centers until 8 p.m. today. And ahead of potential problems due to today's election, the National Guard is on standby as a precaution in several states, and this includes here in Washington and Oregon, which is where hundreds of ballots were damaged or destroyed after at least 3 ballot drop boxes were recently set on fire. Governor Inslee did not disclose how many troops would be activated today, but he said they will be available to support law enforcement from today to Thursday. In Oregon, Governor Tina Kotek said in a statement, the National Guard is standing ready as political leaders call for peaceful protests. And reminder, Ben Franklin Transit will offer free rides on its fixed route bus and dial-a-ride services on Election Day, which is today. So the goal is to make it easier for people to vote, and the free services are available all day. And while voting is encouraged, it's not required to use the free rides. BFT says dial-a-ride customers should schedule their trips as they normally would. And Apple Valley News Now is on your side as we're your #1 source for Your Voice, Your Vote 2024 coverage. ABC News will take over at 4 p.m. today with national coverage. We'll provide local updates just before 6 p.m. until around 11:30 p.m. Plus, we'll have a full 30 minutes of local coverage from 8 to 8:30 live, and again from 11 to 11:30 p.m. also live. And of course, for continuous updates, head to our website and download our app and turn on notifications. Now to a crime alert. Walla Walla police are asking for the public's help in a stabbing investigation. This happened last Thursday on Halloween just before 5 p.m. Officers responded to the 700 block of Woodlawn Street, and they found a 31-year-old man who says he was attacked in his home. He was taken to the hospital after being stabbed several times, and anybody with information is encouraged to contact the Walla Walla Police Department. And a professional fighter from Richland is on the run. Police say Brian Caraway failed to appear for his pretrial hearing in Benton County Superior Court. He's facing several felony charges. If you see Caraway, authorities want you to contact your local law enforcement agency. In a follow-up now, the painting and restoration of the Blue Bridge is just a couple of months from being finished. So WashDOT is anticipating the top half of the bridge, known as the truss section, will be done by the end of November. And the agency also says the bottom half, blasting and painting, have been completed. Officials say this project is more than just about making the Blue Bridge blue again.
Not just a sort of a makeover, if you will, but it's important to every so often, even a few decades to do these projects, because once paint is blasted off and scraped, crews could really go in there to make sure that the integrity of the bridge remains strong, and they could tune up some things to make it last for a long time. And then, of course, we get that beautiful blue on top of it to make it look nice.
WashDOT says even though the renovation part is set to be done by November, if weather allows, workers still have to tear down the safety features that were installed for construction workers and drivers. And this will lead to the Blue Bridge being fully back open in mid-January of next year. And we'll keep you updated as we learn more. Now, the Tri-Cities Airport Q3 stats are officially in, and there continues to be an increase in the number of passengers at PSC. During the months of July, August, and September, approximately 121,000 people boarded a plane at PSC, and officials say this is a 3% increase over 2023's Q3 numbers. They're hopeful Q4 numbers will be even better. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Boeing union workers voted on the new contract deal. And up next, we look at if they agree to the latest offer or if they will continue to strike. But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
Got a craving you can't shake for sizzling, juicy, mouth goes ah. Flavor only Taco Time can deliver? Grab your all-new grilled steak burrito and quesadilla for a limited time. Craving? Sure. When you know what you want, anytime is Taco Time.
The savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book, including Federated Ordnance 9mm ammo, now just $10.99. Bi-Mart, saving our members more every day.
Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Bold. Rich. Intensely delicious dark chocolate. Ghirardelli Intense Dark. makes life a bite better.
Two candidates. With our border in crisis, Dan Newhouse votes for common sense border security. Jared Sessler recklessly wanted to defund the Border Patrol. Newhouse serves on a powerful committee that protects our dams and ag economy. Sessler backs taxes and fees to make food more expensive. That hurts our farmers and ranchers. And Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything. There's only one choice for Central Washington: Dan Newhouse.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Now available at Taco Time, it's 3 for $7.
For a limited time at Taco Time.
Just $7 gets you 3 small Mexi fries.
Or 2 crisp tacos and 1 crisp bean burrito.
Or 2 crisp bean burritos and...
You get the point. It's 3 for $7 at Taco Time.
ABC Election Night.
When we fight, we win!
We will soon be a great nation again.
Who will be your next president? Election Night. This is where America turns for answers. ABC Election Night Live.
A portion of the news is sponsored by Kubota.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a bit of a tour this morning of our mountain passes for the ones in the Cascades in particular, starting off at I-90 at Snoqualmie Pass. Bare pavement here. No chains required, but for the rest of these, there will be traction tires advised at the very least, including at White Pass on US 12. It is a little bit slushy and snowy here at this point of Yakima County, at this vantage point, I should say. And then for US 97 at Blewett Pass, this is probably, per WashDOT, this is probably some of the worst road conditions we've seen this morning. Snow-packed roads, traction tires also advised on this stretch of US 97. And then for US 2 at Stevens Pass, it is snow-packed as well. Traction tires also advised here. So definitely something that you want to be mindful of this morning as you're traveling up towards the Cascades and up over those mountain passes. Let's take it back down to the locations in between the mountain ranges. Here's today's day planner. For this morning, could have a few showers left over in the foothills, but the rest of us should be dry. Temperatures in the 40s. We should be up into the 40s and 50s come time for lunchtime. Plenty of sunshine, and it's going to be more of that as we head into the afternoon, with, again, temperatures in the 40s and 50s and plenty of sunshine. So for today, it's going to be seasonal. We're going to be drying out. The winds will be blustery for this morning, but calming down throughout the rest of the day. Then we're tracking this other storm system into this weekend. I'll tell you what that one's all about coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, new this morning, this Boeing strike is over. Striking workers voted Monday to accept the company's most recent offer. The International Association of Machinists said rank-and-file members voted by 59% to approve the deal. The deal includes an immediate raise of 13%. Altogether, members will receive a pay raise of more than 43% over the course of the 4-year contract. Workers also get a ratification bonus of $12,000. However, the ideal did not restore the traditional pension plan that they lost in 2014 from their previous labor deal.
Honestly, I'm proud of us for what we did and what we accomplished. I think had we gone on any longer, I feel like we would have reached diminishing returns. So I think we dragged it out just as long as we needed to, and I'm proud of us for all sticking together. I think we secured some really key things, but unfortunately, I think there's also more that we need to work on.
The strike that started September 13th was the costliest one in the United States in more than 25 years. The workers will be back at work Wednesday. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the story continues with Mabton Mayor Rachel Ruelas. She faces 2 recall petitions against her and has appealed both to the state Supreme Court. Emily Goodell with that exclusive update next.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon.
What about Africa? Safari.
Hot air balloon ride.
Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari?
Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment?
On a ranch.
In Montana?
With horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Too many politicians are too busy fighting each other, but I just want to get things done to make people's lives better. I'm Maria Cantwell. I led a bipartisan initiative to bring computer chip manufacturing and other supply chains back to America, generating billions in private sector investment to make the chips that run our cars, our appliances, and even our farm equipment, creating jobs, boosting our competitiveness, and lowering costs. It's beginning to work. That's why I approve this message.
If you're injured on the job, you need an experienced workers' comp attorney.
Workers' compensation is complex. It has its own laws, doctors, courts, and judges.
For years as an assistant attorney general, I represented labor and industries. Now, I fight for injured workers.
If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411. Bothwell and Hamill.
27 years ago, I lived in these apartments. And for 27 years, I've seen streets go without repair. I've seen places like Columbia Fruit Packers lay off workers. Some of my neighbors have driven to Seattle for decent medical care. Because MAGA extremists, like my opponent Deb, care more about power and controlling women's bodies than getting results. I am ready to go to the west side because it's time to get results for the east side. I hope to earn your vote.
Sometimes life is a funny way of turning sideways, like when your kid decides they're a professional stylist the morning of picture day, or when your to-do list isn't quite done.
You went to Rite Aid, right?
Or when you're sure you packed everything you need, but you actually need one more thing.
We forgot our prescriptions.
We
got you. Are we happy?
We are happy. Find everything you need?
Yep. Yeah, life never really goes the way you plan, but that's why we're here. It means more at Rite Aid.
The Kraken takes on Colorado, 5:30 tonight on MeTV. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have a few snow showers left over this morning in the Cascades and in the Blues, mostly above 2,500 to 3,000 feet. And we'll show you what happens to this for the rest of today with Futurecast. And by the time we get to lunchtime, most of this is going to be off the map, and then I think by the time we get to 5 p.m., there's really honestly going to be nothing on the map. And that's how today's going to go. It's going to be much calmer as opposed to yesterday, certainly much drier. So for today, yes, it's going to be blustery in the morning, but we'll have calming winds throughout the day. But for this morning, winds could still gust at times between 20 to 40 miles per hour, mostly gusting out of the west and northwest. Other than that, we should have clearing skies throughout the day and high temperatures that'll be cool, albeit pretty seasonal. And then for tonight, look at this. It is going to be chilly out there, folks. All of us are either going to be in the 20s and 30s, and the 30s that we do have are going to be low 30s. So all of us are going to need to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. If it's any consolation, at least the winds aren't going to be that blustery at this point. Okay, so we'll keep it pretty dry from Wednesday through Friday. Then we have this next series of storm systems starting on Saturday. So first we'll focus on the storm system for Saturday and Sunday. This one's looking like it's going to be a little bit wetter than the storm system that we just dealt with, as we could have 2 inches of water for the Cascades, between 1/10 to 1/2 inch for the valleys, basin, and foothills, maybe upwards of 1 inch for the Blue Mountains. And snow levels with this storm system bouncing between 3,500 to 5,000 feet, at least for Saturday and Sunday. So we're thinking Snoqualmie Pass could at least get a few inches of snow. Cabbage Hill probably less than 1 inch, and obviously not much doing for the valleys, basin, or foothills when it comes to the snow output. High temperatures staying pretty seasonal over the next 7 days. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and cool through Friday, then shower chances go back up starting on Saturday. Then for Yakima, a stretch of crisp and calm weather through Friday, but more wet weather looms for this weekend. Then in Ellensburg, breezes calming through today, much calmer for Wednesday through Friday, but our weather turns unsettled again by Saturday. For Hermiston, dry with highs in the 50s through Friday, staying cool but turning wet again this weekend. And then for Walla Walla, maybe a leftover shower for this morning. And our next substantial chance of rain is going to hold off until this weekend.
Thank you, Josh. In depth this morning, it's a story only Apple Valley News Now has been covering. Mabton Mayor Rachel Ruelas is facing 2 recall petitions against her, and she has appealed both to the state Supreme Court. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell reports Ruelas hasn't followed up on her requests.
I spoke with Yakima County Auditor Charles Ross, who says the mayor appears to have missed key deadlines in the appeal process for the first recall petition against her.
There was supposed to be a whole nother section of documents coming from her that were never filed.
So instead of both sides testifying in front of the state Supreme Court, the court will make their decision based solely on the initial filings after a hearing December 5th.
They could consider the whole thing politically motivated and dismiss the entire process, I'm sure. More likely than not, they are looking to see if our local judges' decisions were within the color of the law. There are deadlines with the Supreme Court, and those deadlines came and went, and therefore, I strongly suspect they're going to dismiss the appeal and maintain Yakima County's ruling.
As for the second petition,
if it were to follow the same circumstance of events, it would probably end up in the same position.
If the state Supreme Court dismisses the appeal, the recall moves forward. Petitioners need roughly 60 signatures from Mabton voters, certified by the state auditor's office, which must get it on the ballot within 90 days.
We have a regular election cycle that comes in February, so highly likely if that's within the 90 days, we would do it that way.
If the recall fails, Ruelas stays in office. Her term is up at the end of 2025, but she told a Yakima County Superior Court judge last month she'd be running for re-election. If the recall succeeds, Ruelas will be removed from office.
Normally, a position like that, the council would appoint somebody to fill that position until the next qualified election for that community, which would, be the next primary general cycle.
Which would be fall of 2025, with the newly elected mayor taking office in January 2026. We'll keep you updated on what the state Supreme Court decides and what happens with the recall process moving forward. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Barbenheimer 2.0. That's what a few blockbusters the weekend before Thanksgiving is looking like. We break down which movies may be the new Barbenheimer after the break.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
This year, take the time to melt into your holiday moments with Lindor. Irresistibly smooth chocolate from the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. They've always taken care of me. But when they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. So they sent me this Hollywood trainer. Oh, this guy's no joke. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Now let's try burpees.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular. Current customers get $1,200 off any phone, plus $400 off any tablet.
Save now with Cascade Farm and Outdoors latest mailer. Watch for it in your mailbox or pick up a copy in store. Buy one, get one 50% off on all Ariat jeans. Purina Laina 40-pound crumble or pellet feed is just $14.99. Dickies hooded flannel shirt jackets are $15 off. Save $20 on a Coleman 5-pound sleeping bag. Plus, all dog and cat canned food is 20% off. Store-wide savings are going on now at Cascade Farm and Outdoor.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
The sad story of Buck the Chimp. Apple Valley News Now, Thursday at 6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news, October's predicted blockbusters Joker, Folie à Deux, and Venom: The Last Dance failed to meet expectations.
So movie studios are pinning their hopes on a November trifecta. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Hollywood is hoping Thanksgiving will bring some magic reminiscent of last year's Barbenheimer. Box office analysts are looking at Wicked to conjure up an opening weekend worth $80 to $85 million when it debuts November 22nd. And Gladiator 2 is expected to haul in $55 to $65 million the same weekend. 5 days later, Moana 2 sets sail, charting a course for $100 million or more over the 5-day holiday weekend.
All the things I wish I could do, these guys are doing. This guy's very sharp. He hasn't figured us out yet, he will. All we know is what we found out from the neighbors. And the general consensus is they're angels.
The Boondock Saints is returning to theaters for its 25th anniversary. The cult classic action thriller starring Willem Dafoe, Sean Patrick Flannery, Norman Reedus, and Billy Connolly hits the big screen on Thursday, November 7th and Sunday, November 10th. Locations and tickets at iconicreleasing.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So I know everybody's going to be in lines trying to watch Wicked, so I already got my tickets. So if you want to see it too, get your tickets already because they are going pretty fast.
Yes, and I really liked Barbenheimer. What made Barbenheimer special is that it was just two original movies, and we don't ever get two
and meme
original.
Culture. The memes were just hilarious.
Yeah.
So I haven't really seen anything about Gladiator and Wicked yet, but I bought the tickets for my fiance and I, so I know he wants to see Gladiator. So maybe not the same day, but
You're
the
not
other
gonna
weekend.
do the double dip?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
It's tough.
if I'm not tired, which I probably will be. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, it is Election Day and ballots can be confusing. So coming up, we break down the hot races you need to know about. Plus, a hateful text was sent to voters and we have what exactly it said. It's all in your next half hour, but first, let's look at your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, it's about to get harder for kids to lie about their age on Instagram. Meta will launch a new tool that uses AI next year to detect teens lying about their age. The so-called adult classifier will go through users' content. Those deemed under 18 will be switched to a restricted account. Next, Apple is reportedly testing a new Find My App feature for its newest operating system update. It allows users to temporarily share the location of a lost AirTag with anyone, not just trusted contacts. That means it can help airport staff locate missing luggage. Finally, Amazon just launched a new AI feature for Fire TV customers, recapping what you're watching on Prime Video. The feature helps you pick up where you left off. The recaps can be of a single episode or an entire series. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day.
What if she doesn't like it?
This time it's different. This has real chicken, sweet potatoes, and brown rice.
Oh yeah, Blue Tastefuls, that's different.
Looks like it's Blue Tastefuls from now on.
Blue Tastefuls, a taste they'll love, made from natural ingredients.
It's high noon, and the winter's clear. 7 out of 10 cats prefer Blue Tastefuls chicken to Heinz chicken. And with Tastefuls' delicious natural ingredients, it's easy to see why. Blue Tastefuls, a taste cats love made with natural ingredients.
Sore throat got your tongue? Mucinex Insta-Sue Sore Throat Medicated Drops. Uniquely formulated for rapid relief that lasts and lasts. That's my baby! Try our new sugar-free cough drop. Insta-Soothe!
James, you're a veteran,
and household chef and student. You're an Ander. National University supports the whole you so you can focus on what's right in front of you. National University, supporting the whole you.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, so I dropped off my ballot yesterday. It's election day today, and it was so windy. It almost flew out of my hand, yeah. So, but we're not going to see that wind today, so people probably won't have that problem, right?
Yeah, well, we still do have a wind advisory and a high wind warning in place until 7 this morning, but that's really as a formality. Yes, it will be blustery for this morning, but the winds are going to be calming throughout the day. So, yeah, definitely get out there, get to those ballot drop boxes, and yeah, vote. Exercise your right. Okay. We'll go ahead and take a live look right now at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. You see all the pretty city lights down below. And a little bit later today, this is going to be a very sunny-filled look. And we might see that camera. We didn't really see it there, but throughout the rest of this morning, we might see that camera shaking because of some of the wind gusts that still exist within the valleys. And we'll touch on the wind gust here in just a second. But first, for this morning, temperatures in the 40s. Okay, you look at that, it's chilly. Not too chilly though, right? Well, when you factor in some of the wind gusts that I was just talking about, for instance, gusting upwards at 30 miles per hour in Ellensburg, around 25 miles per hour for portions of the valley. Yeah, factor that in with temperatures in the 40s, and it will feel much colder out there than what the air temperature would otherwise suggest. We do have some snow showers hanging on for dear life right now up in the Cascades, also in the Blue Mountains, mostly above 2,500 to 3,000 feet. We still do have a winter weather advisory in place for the Cascades until 10 this morning, for the Blues until 4 for this afternoon. So for today, high temperatures, seasonal in the 50s, mostly sunny skies, and will be mostly dry, winds calming. And we'll have a retroactive look at the storm system from yesterday and what that did to our drought situation. So that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now it is election day, so we're starting off this half hour in election coverage. Onto your ballot, there are a lot of names and races. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma is help breaking it all down.
The District 4 races on your ballot is the seat as the United States Representative for Central Washington. For this race, Dan Newhouse and Jared Sessler, both of the Republican Party, are the two who are running for Congress. But they're not the only two throwing their hats in the ring for this position, as Teresa Boyd, a Democrat, announced in early September that she is running as a write-in candidate. Now, Newhouse has been congressman since January 3rd of 2015, but his current term ends on January 3rd of this upcoming year. Will he gather enough votes to continue serving as congressman? We'll keep you updated on that on our Apple Valley News Now website. Another race we will be tracking is the spot for the Washington State Senate. The two candidates that will be going head-to-head for this role is Maria Cantwell, who is representing the Democratic Party and has been in this position since 2001. Running against the current Senate is Dr. Raul Garcia, who represents the Republican Party on the general election ballot after advancing from the primary election on August 6th this year. As for State Senator District 14 representative, the two names that made it into the general election after the primary is Curtis King of the Republican Party, who has been in this role since 2007. If not reelected, his term will come to an end January 13th of 2025. Running against Curtis is Maria Beltran, who prefers the Democratic Party and advanced from the primary this year. These are only a few of the many races that are in the hands of the voters this year. Later today, you will be able to watch me live from a watch party. Reporting in Kennewick, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
And for anything election related, visit applevalleynewsnow.com. Also at 6, Monique will run down the initiatives that are on the ballot. And Democrats, including Maria Beltran, responded to what they're calling hateful texts that were sent out over the weekend to voters from the Washington State Republican Party. Now we have an example of one of the texts. It says, quote, "This is Mateo from the Washington State Republican Party. Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demos support chemically castrating your children in school without your knowledge of consent. They call themselves Latinx instead of Latino. They hate you, they hate your family, they hate God, and they hate the truth. Don't let them represent you," end quote. Now, Beltran responded to this.
First and foremost, this text message was specifically targeted
to Spanish-speaking only folks and to seniors. And if you look at the language, you look at the tone, it goes beyond what we've historically have seen when it comes to attacks. They say they're spreading lies and misinformation. And then they're saying that we hate our communities, which is not true.
And the 14th District Senator Curtis King, as well as 14th District Representative candidates Deb Monjarez and Gloria Mendoza, issued the statement regarding the text message, which says, quote, "We disavow the text. Our campaigns had nothing to do with it. None of us had any prior knowledge it was being sent. It does not represent our views," end quote. And continuing in election coverage, every year there are ballots that don't get counted due to issues with signatures that can be easily solved with the voters' help. Now, if you don't sign your ballot and if your signature does not match the one on your driver's license, or if you don't include both pages of the ballot, your ballot can be rejected. If your ballot is in question, the auditor's office will send you a letter or contact you at the phone number listed on your ballot to help resolve the issue. Now, the auditor says every vote counts, but especially in local races.
Local county commissioner elections have been very close in the past, mainly because it's a Republican versus a Republican. So we're seeing, we had to do a recount, and some of those elections have been decided by less than 20 votes.
You can also check your ballot status for yourself at votewa.gov. Now, there is a social media post we have to tell you about and let you know if you see this, it's a false claim. And this deals with your ballot. The post says if you get your ballot and there's a dot on one of the boxes, that means even if you didn't vote for that candidate, your ballot will be rejected and determined to be invalid. Now, this is not true. Apple Valley News Now spoke with Benton County Auditor Brenda Chilton and Yakima County Auditor Charles Ross, and Ross says the dot isn't big enough to register as a vote. Chilton adds the opening boards inspect every ballot, and if it appears there are marks in more than one selection box, it would be inspected closer to ensure the vote is counted as the voter intended. And Apple Valley News Now is on your side, as we are your #1 source for your vote, your voice, your vote 2024 coverage. ABC News will take over at 4 p.m. today with national coverage, and we'll provide local updates from just before 6 p.m. until 11:30 p.m. And we'll have a full 30 minutes worth of local coverage from 8 to 8:30 live, and again from 11 to 11:30 also live. And for continuous updates, head to our website or download our app. Now to some education-related news. The WSU Tri-Cities College of Education and local schools are partnering to provide meaningful experiences for teacher candidates. A few weeks ago, we told you how Tapteel Elementary School in Richland became a WSU Tri-Cities teaching laboratory school. Now, Apple Valley News Now's Riley Fitzgerald says 2 Pasco elementary schools are joining the list.
Franklin STEM and Maya Angelou Elementary Schools in the Pasco School District are now considered WSU Tri-Cities teaching laboratory schools. This is giving WSU Tri-Cities teacher candidates a step up in early practicum experiences.
The opportunities to go in a variety of classrooms, the opportunities to learn from very well experienced supervisors, and to purposefully go through and look at instruction at a deep level.
It lets these teaching students get into several classrooms rather than a limited number to get different teaching perspectives.
Most people that are doing like the regular program route, they only get to see 4 different teachers, but us, we've already seen like 7 different teachers all within the 9 weeks that we've been here. So it's just been really like cool to really see like, oh, this is what really works in one classroom and this doesn't really work well in another.
It's the application of theory and practice at the same time rather than detached from the other. One teacher explains how it's not only been meaningful for the student in her class, but also for her own teaching.
A lot of times we get the pedagogy in the college program, but we need to see it practiced. And I was able to show them strategies, but it also helped me refine mine, so I had to be a little bit more reflective. And it always is nice to come back and remember to be reflective of our practices.
This program also hopes to cultivate local teachers and potentially get them to stick around in the area.
We're looking for the very best teachers to work with our kids in the Pasco School District, and WSU has been a long-term partner with us. And this innovative approach, I think, is going to be fairly transformative in the marketing and looking for new teachers.
And are you from this area?
Yes, I'm from Tri-Cities.
Awesome.
Yes.
Do you plan to teach in this area?
Yes, I do.
In Pasco, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
And pre-service teachers at WSU Tri-Cities train in instructional rounds called learning walks within the schools. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, a Gold Glove Award is given to Major League Baseball players with the best defensive performance all year. And 2 Seattle Mariners won their first awards. We have who it is after the break.
The Kraken takes on Colorado, 5:30 tonight on MeTV.
Hi, I'm Carrie Isaacson, and I'm running for State Senate from the 16th District. Unlike my opponent, who's aligned with the extreme far right and anti-women's health care, I believe in practical solutions that put people first. I'll fight for better health care and good-paying jobs. I'm a moderate Democrat who believes that our district must be at the table in Olympia, and it's not. Vote Carrie Isaacson, State Senate.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
Hit by a big truck? It could be from bad air hoses in the brake system. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, and at my law firm, we have a special team that knows how trucks work and what goes wrong. We know how to prove it was the truck's fault. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the experience and knowledge it takes to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
My family's been serving the Tri-Cities for 85 years at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores. And we have some deals we don't want you to miss. 11 different Stanley and Craftsman tools, your choice, only $5.99.
This popular Blackstone grill is $100 off at only $249.99.
20-pound bags of bird food on sale, 2 for $18.
And stock up on these C6 100 light Christmas lights, a steal at 50% off.
See all of the deals using this QR code. Come see us at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores. And thank you for your business.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
This morning, Election Day finally here, and GMA is right there, inside the campaigns, in the swing states, with all the morning's first breaking news. Election Day, this morning, first on GMA. ABC Election Night.
When we fight, we win! We will soon be a great nation again.
Who will be your next president? Election Night, this is where America turns for answers. ABC Election Night, live.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a tour of today's forecast. We're going to start you off in Kittitas County, where high temperatures today are going to be in the 40s and 50s. Yes, it will be a little breezy, a little windy for this morning. Winds could gust upwards of 40 miles per hour at times, but throughout the day, the winds will be calming. Should have plenty of sunshine, although there is a chance for some snow showers. In fact, we're seeing that in the Cascades for this morning, but into the afternoon, it should mostly be dry. Then in the Yakima Valley, winds gusting out of the north and west, upwards of 20 miles per hour for this morning. We should have mostly sunny skies into the afternoon. High temperatures will end up in the mid-50s. in the lower Columbia Basin will also be in the mid-50s here. Also winds gusting out of the west, but more like out of the west to northwest, upwards of 20 miles per hour in the AM, but during the PM, the wind should calm down. And then in the foothills of the Blues, high temperatures up into the 40s and 50s. It's going to be cooler in places like Meacham and Ukiah, 30s and 40s. And again, in the Blue Mountains, we do have that winter weather advisory that runs until 4 p.m. for today. That would be for elevations above 4,500 feet. Now let's take a look back to yesterday's storm system. Now this was really a two-day affair, Monday and Tuesday, but the bulk of the moisture fell yesterday. So I just want to show you what rainfall deficits looked like heading into this storm system and on the backside of this storm system. We made about 5 to 10% improvements in the Kittitas Valley and portions of the basin and portions of the foothills. But for Yakima and Tri-Cities, we didn't have much movement at all. But I do think that these numbers will improve. There's more rainfall on the way for this weekend. I'll tell you how much we're expecting coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In your sports news this morning, the baseball season concluded with the Los Angeles Dodgers beating the New York Yankees to win their 8th World Championship. So that means award season for MLB is just getting started. The Gold Glove Award winners are awarded to a player at each position who had the best defensive performance all year. And two Seattle Mariners won their first Gold Glove Awards. Cal Raleigh, who led all MLB catchers in caught stealing and innings caught, and Dylan Moore, who played 6 positions for the club. Moore only made 5 errors all season in more than 430 chances and posted almost a 99% fielding percentage.
It's always nice to kind of see hard work pay off. And, I knew that was, something personally for me this year going into the season I wanted to contend for. And I have in the past, just never won it.
I was sitting on my couch and I got a call from the New York number, and I thought it was our moving company coming to give us our stuff to our new house. But it was Stevie Cohen, and he said, "Hey, you won the utility glove for Gold Glove for utility." And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
This is the 13th time in the franchise history that more than one Mariner won a Gold Glove, and the last time was in 2020 when shortstop J.P. Crawford and former Mariner Evan White won their awards. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Elon Musk has been handing out money to people in swing states, people who would agree to represent his super PAC, which supports Donald Trump. People opposed say this was illegal. We have the details coming up in your morning sprint, but first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast.
Welcome to Chris's Recovery Shop.
Is your boat upholstery starting to look worn or has tears? From tops to seats to panels, we have you covered. Do you own a business and need repairs to seats or furniture? From agricultural to restaurant, we have you covered. Got a classic car that needs a little interior TLC? From seats to armrests and panels, we have you covered here too.
Chris's Recovery Shop in Yakima,
where we keep a good thing going.
Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Bold. Rich. Intensely delicious dark chocolate. Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Makes life a bite better.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari. Hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch.
In Montana.
With horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
Liberty Lawn and Saw Shop, your destination for outdoor power equipment. We offer a wide range of products from leading brands such as Exmark, Husqvarna, Echo, and Steel. Make your yard stand out with our range of professional-grade landscaping tools and equipment. We also provide a variety of services, including free pickup and delivery on deluxe services. Our team is committed to providing the best care for your outdoor equipment. Call us today or text us for faster service at 509-371-1477. Visit us in West Richland and at libertylawnandsawshop.com.
Your mail-in ballot must be postmarked or dropped in ballot boxes today.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at First Alert radar, where we're just seeing a few light snow showers up in the Blue Mountains, also up in the Cascades, mostly above 2,500 to 3,000 feet. Let's show you the rest of today with Futurecast. We're going to put this into motion, and by the time we get to lunchtime, should be mostly dry at this point, maybe a few leftover showers, but by the time we get to 5 p.m., looks like we're not going to have anything on the map. And then, for the rest of the evening, it's just going to be cold. Skies will turn mostly clear. So yeah, just in essence, today's going to be much drier as opposed to yesterday. So for today, mostly dry, also pretty cool, seasonal stuff, high temperatures in the 50s. Winds gusting in the morning out of the west and northwest between 20 to 40 miles per hour, but the winds will be calming throughout the day. And then for tonight, look at these overnight lows dropping down into the 20s and 30s. And where we do have 30s on the map, it's right at 30 in Walla Walla. So all of us probably need to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. But if it is any consolation, the winds are going to be calm at this point. So it doesn't look like wind chill is going to be that big of a factor. We'll keep it pretty dry from Wednesday through Friday. Then we're tracking this next series of storm systems, starting with the first one on Saturday and Sunday. So we'll focus on that one. Here's some preliminary water projections for the storm system. This is definitely subject to change, but we're thinking this could be a pretty wet one. Upwards of 2 inches of water in the Cascades, between 1/10 to 1/2 inch for the valleys and for the basin and foothills, and maybe upwards of 1 inch for the Blue Mountains. And of course, as you would expect with storm systems around this time of the year, there's going to be a wintry element, as snow levels will be between 3,500 to 5,000 feet. So Snoqualmie Pass on I-90 could get a few inches for Saturday and Sunday, but probably less than 1 inch on I-84. High temperatures staying pretty seasonal over the next 7 days. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and cool through Friday, then shower chances go back up starting on Saturday. In Yakima, a stretch of crisp and calm weather through Friday, but more wet weather looms this weekend. For Ellensburg, breezes calming through today, much calmer for Wednesday through Friday, but our weather turns unsettled again by Saturday. For Hermiston, dry with highs in the 50s through Friday, staying cool but turning wet again this weekend. Then for Walla Walla, maybe a leftover shower for this morning, and our next substantial chance of rain is going to hold off until Saturday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:52. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour. Starting off, here are the top 5 local stories you need to know this morning. Walla Walla police are asking for the public's help with a stabbing investigation. It happened last Thursday at the 700 block of Woodlawn Street. They found a 31-year-old man who says he was attacked at his home and stabbed several times. Contact WWPD if you know anything. A professional fighter from Richland is on the run. Police say Brian Caraway failed to appear for his pretrial hearing in Benton County Superior Court. He's facing several felony charges. If you see him, call police. And the city of Pasco is actively working on improving road safety this week, and it will impact traffic. Nighttime closures on eastbound I-182 will happen today and Thursday, and paving work on Court Street near Road 68 started yesterday. BFT is offering free rides on its fixed route bus and dial-a-ride services today. The goal is to make it easier for people to vote. Free services are available all day, and while voting is encouraged, it's not required to use the free rides. BFT says dial-a-ride customers should schedule their trips as they normally would. And we are on your side with election coverage. ABC News is taking over at 4 p.m. today with national coverage, but we will have local updates just before 6 p.m. until 11:30 p.m. And we'll have local coverage live from 8 to 8:30 and 11 to 11:30. For continuous updates, head to our website and download our app. Now to your national news this morning, the Boeing strike is over. 59% of striking workers voted to accept the company's most recent offer. The deal includes an immediate raise of 13% and a pay raise of more than 43% over the 4-year contract. They also get a ratification bonus of $12,000. Elon Musk's daily $1 million giveaway sweepstakes is allowed to proceed. The billionaire has been handing out money to people in swing states, those who would agree to represent his super PAC, which supports Donald Trump. Prosecutors in Philadelphia argued this was illegal in violation of state law. However, yesterday the judge denied the request to stop the sweepstakes. And according to Musk's PAC team, this was not a random drawing, as recipients were vetted ahead of time to feel out their personality and make sure they were someone whose values aligned with the group. In some business news, a waste management company and a daycare company have joined forces in Massachusetts to convert dirty diapers into electricity. Dirty diapers were dumped into special bins from Huggies, and they go through a waste-to-energy process. First, a giant mechanical claw mixes the diapers with other waste items, and the trash is thermally destroyed in a boiler, which creates steam that drives a turbine into the power grid. And since January, the program has prevented more than 33,000 pounds of diapers from going into landfills. It's also generated 3 megawatt hours of electricity, enough to power 5 homes for a month. And Americans who bought homes for the first time between July 2023 and June 2024 were older and wealthier than in previous years. That's according to a new survey from the National Association of Realtors. It found the median age of first-time buyers rose to a new record high of 38 years old, whereas a generation ago, buyers were in their late 20s. And the report also found a record high of 7% used their inheritance for a down payment. It underscores the struggle that many Americans face when buying a home, as prices have rapidly climbed to a near record level and mortgage rates have remained high. In some sports headlines, the Tri-City Americans are on a 9-game winning streak. The boys have outscored their opponents 47-33 in those 9 games. The most impressive win might have come on Sunday when the AMs beat first place Everett, giving them only their 2nd loss of the year. All right, trending this morning, football fans, if you'd like to take gloating to a new level, Fireball has just a thing for you.
Fireball as in the drink Fireball?
Yep. Fireball.
Man, my stomach just did that right there.
Mine did too.
Well, it's collecting the tears of disappointed fans after their team loses for a new whiskey. It's called Cryerball.
Cryerball. So official Fireball tier collectors will be posted outside some of the season's biggest NFL and college rivalry games. And as fans leave, they'll use eyedroppers and jars to collect the tears.
The tears will then undergo a sterilization and distillation process before becoming Cryerball.
Oh, they're serious.
Fireball says the limited edition whiskey will be ready for the next season.
And some of the games the collectors will be at include the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys on November 10th. I have a feeling a lot of people will be crying.
I think so, especially the Cowboys. Yeah. The Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears on November 17th, and the Iron Bowl featuring the Alabama Crimson Tide and my very own Auburn Tigers on November 30th.
Oh man, yeah, they just need to be posted outside the Dallas Cowboys Stadium the entire season, and
they'll collect a lot of Cryerball, I'll tell you that.
Oh man. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, we've got election coverage all day today, and up next we look at the 4 initiatives that will affect voters across the state of Washington. Monique Ledesma has what your yes or no vote actually means.
And we still have a wind advisory and a high wind warning in place for this morning, but I'll tell you what the wind gusts are actually looking like for this morning and how much you should bundle up. So all that's going to be coming up at 6.